As we plough into the second week of a new season, the anime is starting to slow down a bit. Which is strange given it's an autumn season, you'd afford to be speeding up. But I've managed to cobble together 4 more new shows to look at today. They're not the standout series, but they're worth a look. And that's what I'll do. Because, as ever, this is a 2019 autumn anime preview, from a different perspective. In an age where every other anime is either an adaptation of a mobile phone game or a dating sim, it's nice going back to the old days where most anime would be based on card games. Welcome to the world of Zix Code Reunion. It's an anime based on a card game Zix. Z/X if you want to be like that. It's not actually the first anime of this series either. I will be honest, I didn't actually know the other one existed until I looked up this show. But this is not a sequel, this is just another story from the same card game. Think about it as the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Original series. Although there's no Blue Eyes White Dragon here, although the main character will probably end up with a super powerful character anyway. Now, Zix Code Reunion subscribes to a belief a card game can only have an anime adaptation if the main character is an adorably cute girl, and they are partnered up with actual physical beings based on the card game. This has been a trend of a lot of card games recently. This time we've got Azumi Kamigahara teamed up with Regal, who doesn't want to be turned into a card. Why that is, there's probably some dark secret behind it. Dark secreted anime has become a trend recently. It's becoming a bit too much if you ask me, but oh well, what do we have to blame that? And who'd have thought it? All these super powerful young children who have formed partnerships and pacts with these aliens are all brought together into a school. And there's a war going on, although it is anyway at the end of the show, as this weird alien drops something down on them from the place, and well, to be honest, I didn't follow everything going on. All I know is we're introduced to a bunch of kids, a bunch of partners, and our main character who was in a coma for God knows how long, being kept alive in a stasis pod. Why stasis pod, I have no idea. And she's made a partnership with this big-breasted alien. As I said, there have been anime like this in the last few years as well. And this one really did not stand out for a crowd for me. It was not unwatchable. I thought the main character was cute. The main character's alien friend is relatively hot. She's got a bunch of interesting characters surrounding her. Whether it's going to turn into a rivalry type show, whether it's going to turn into a teams against the aliens show, Monster of the Week, who knows. All I know is it's there to sell the card game. And with no interest in playing the card game, and I probably won't be able to play it anyway because it's in Japanese, it's not really one which stands out for me. If you did want to watch Zix Code Reunion, you can find it airing over at High Dive. Are you ready for some wet and wild action? Are you ready to watch 2 girls work together in a high pressure, high speed racing anime? Well, welcome to a world of Kanagawa Jet Girls, an anime about a combination of a water pistol fight and jet ski foot racing. Yeah, I don't know why they combine those two either. Actually, I know exactly why we did it. It's kind of revealed at the end of the first episode. We'll get to that in a bit, shall we? Kanagawa Jet Girls is based on a premise that everybody loves jet skis and racing and jet skis. And our main character Rin loves jet skis. I mean, her mother was a world famous jet ski racer. I say was because this being an anime and her being the protagonist in a sports anime, of course her mother's dead. Although, that does get rid of some fan interest, because the mother was kind of hot. Not that the other girls in the anime aren't hot as well. And as such, Rin really wants to become like her mother. She wants to race jet skis. But how could she do that? We also meet our other main character, Misa, who is a stoic, cool, calm customer. She's obviously a shooter, you can tell that just looking at her. I mean, she's got sniper written all over her. And it seems like she's interested in the jet ski racing sim, but something's stopping her from going ahead with it. Did she have a partner who was injured? Does she just love it and not want to do it? Is she a bit worried about her shooting? There's something hidden there. But I digress. There's not really much to tell you in the first episode, other than the 2 girls meet each other. Misa kind of reluctantly agrees to race with her, and Rin transfers school, is a bit of a country girl. I say a bit of one, she's very much a country girl. That forces her into a race with some rich girl Ojo-sama team. Now, if you're expecting a competent sports anime here, you're probably in the wrong show. This is a sports anime in the same way that 2Car was a sports anime. It's very much fan service first. Yuri-based fan service, two people on a bike on a jet ski crawling all over each other. And I mentioned the water pistols from earlier. The one advantage water pistols have, you fire a concentrated another shot, you can knock someone's clothes off. So yeah, this is strip jet ski shooting action with hot girls on jet skis getting wet for their pleasure. There's not really much more to say about this one. This is a terrible, terrible show. But it is watchable. It's quite honestly very much a dirty pleasure. It's not in your face fan service, but it's not far off. If you did want to watch Kandagawa Chat Girls, this one's also airing over at High Dive. Coming to us hot on the heels of the ever-growing number of Gunpla Build anime comes the second Build Divers series, Gundam Build Divers Re-Rise. And for those who aren't aware of the Build Divers series, or the Build Fighters series, which came before it, it's an anime based around people building Gunpla and fighting with them in battles. Think about it like the angelic layer of Gundam building, only instead of fighting with dolls on the layer, you're fighting with giant robots on a little table. It's very much a very, very blatant way of saying, look at our Gundam kits, we can make more Gundam kits with this show, so buy them. And yeah, it works on me all the time. I can't count the number of Gundam Build Divers and Gundam Build Fighters I've got. But the anime series are a bit of fun. Now unfortunately, the previous series, Gundam Build Divers, was a step down from the original Gundam Build Fighters and Build Fighters Tri. And I'm sorry to say that Build Divers Re-Rise is a further step down. The original three series all had a certain amount of charm, amount of innocent playfulness about it. And that's something which I feel is lacking when we look at Gundam Build Divers Re-Rise. Our main character in the original Build Fighters was, say, Iori. He just loves building Gunpla. He gets into Gundam battle, not because he wants to fight, but because a friend wants to fight with his robots. He doesn't fight himself. In Build Fighters Tri, a club comes together to fight as a trio, but again, it's the honest love of building Gundam which brings them together. In Build Divers, it's a much more involved, almost traditional toy anime series storyline with a weird AI girl. But with Build Divers Re-Rise, our main character is a lone wanderer, a lone wolf fighting on his own. We don't know why he loves Gundam. We don't really see him building his Gunpla, although it is clearly a Gunpla he builds and carries with him. We're not introduced to the main character first, we're introduced to his avatar in the game, because Gundam Build Divers takes place in Gundam Battle Nexus Online, an online hub, an MMO for Gunpla builders. We're introduced to another ragtag bunch of interesting looking characters. You got the best friend buddy guy, who's a bit too pushy. You got the shy animal kid, who's shy and an animal, and pilots an SD Gundam. And then you got the cool, mysterious girl, who you don't know anything about her, except for the fact she pilots a Gunpla from Turn A Gundam, which means she's automatically awesome. But a lot of the innocence of the series have gone. One of the reasons why the Gundam Build series was so good was because it wasn't a Gundam show. It was concentrated love for Gunpla. It was Gunpla first, and it was deep political story, deep mecha story second. This one seems to have reversed it and is going back to the old ways of Gundam by trying to make the story first and foremost, with Gundam just as a present thing. And don't get me wrong, I will continue to watch this. I mean, I don't need to show you the number of Gunpla on my shelf to tell you how much I love a show. But it's not going to be the same, it's not going to be the build series for me. It's just going to be, oh, and it's a new Gundam show. And it's worse for it. This is not a good anime. But I'll watch it anyway. Because Gundam. And if you want to watch this one, you can find it airing both over Crunchyroll and at Gundam Info's channel on YouTube. Assassin's Pride is a series which I knew next to nothing about going into watching. I knew the name, Assassin's Pride. I knew the promo art had a relatively generic looking black swordsman and a bunch of cute girls on it. So I knew I'd be getting into some kind of overpowered hero with some heroines who probably going to fight over him. And I will be honest, I'm not far wrong with that premise. Meet our main character, Kufa Vampire, who I very much suspect may be somehow vampiric. As he approaches a brand new town, he's been sent there on a job to become a tutor for some rich girl. The rich girl's name is Melida Angel, who I'm led to believe from the anime has some kind of angelic heritage. I can't be fully sure about that, but something about her, something brings me some kind of angelic nature to her. No idea what about it is. And unfortunately, Melida Angel has no powers whatsoever. See, this is the world where the most powerful people have something known as mana. They've got the ability to control the ether around them and boost power themselves up. Melida comes from a high-class family, the Angel family, who has holy power and is well renowned for producing high-quality warriors. Paladins, actually. Unfortunately, Melida has got no talent for it whatsoever. So much so, some people are suspecting that she's not actually a pure-blood Angel. Some believe that she was actually born out of an affair. And that really is why Kufa actually went there, because he's not a tutor at all. The name of the anime didn't give you any kind of hint whatsoever. The main character of Assassin's Pride is an assassin. Who'd have thought it, eh? And this kind-hearted assassin doesn't want to kill this beautiful young girl who's trying her hardest. Instead, he decides to help her. He bestows onto her some kind of power. No idea how. I imagine through making her somehow vampiric. Because vampiric angels are definitely not a new thing in fiction. But with Vampire Slayer, I'm looking your way. And so he's got himself a young girl who's going to blatantly be in love with him. There's another bunch of girls. There's this mysterious cousin of hers who is quite powerful. Got the hot redhead he saw on the train who undoubtedly is going to come into it at some point. And he got the rich rival who actually hates Melida, who of course is the first one she's going to use the new powers on. You see, she's now super powerful. She's now got the power of a paladin. But how should we explain this to everyone? Has it finally unlocked her powers? How will she be able to control them? What's the cost of her new powers? And what if it comes true that people learn that Kufa is the one who bestowed on her? Because she's blatantly going to be some kind of illegitimate offspring of her family. Because she's got no power of her own. Or maybe she does have power and she's just unlocking it. Who knows? It's not a great anime. The story is plucked from every other story of the same type. A generic dark swordsman. A princess with a special power, which only he can unlock. A bunch of other girls fighting over him. You've heard this story before. You know where this is going. It's not the worst example of a show like this, but it's by and far not the best. If you didn't want to watch this one, you can find it airing over at Crunchyroll. As I said at the start, today's new shows were nothing special, but they weren't terrible either. I'll probably stick with one or two of them, although that may go down depending on how busy I get. But what about you? What did you think of them? Let me know in the comments, and be sure to follow and subscribe for more. Well, thanks for watching guys, have a wonderful day, bye bye.